So it was cool to see that there are a lot of people in other places who enjoy it. So let's get into our second one here and see if Shopify can find a more enjoyable game in round number 2, as we do have Orianna, Karma, and Xin banned out by C9. Shopify banning out the Renekton, the Bard, and there's the Ziggs ban that they left out in game number 1. And it looks like Shopify is going to take the first pick Rumble, but the response from C9, I like so much more. You talked about it during our pause in game 1. When Ashe Seraphine gets locked and your players know how to pilot it correctly, it just feels like the best.
I feel like it's the best because it has lane prio and then it also outscales. So that's usually really hard to beat. The way you break it is, it works occasionally, is with this. It's with the MF Nautilus, because if you are able to force 2v2s on the right timings, more like 3v3s and 3v2s, because you need to play it with a ganking jungler as well, in my opinion, then you can win. But I think it's a fairly low percentage strategy with how much I've seen it. The other answer would be the Corki Nami, but I feel like the Ashe Seraphine will have push on that, and I just like the Seraphine team fighting a lot more than the Nami team fighting. So understandable that this is the strategy Shopify has gone in with. They banned really comfort picks for Shopify, and they're going to try and match the meta for meta.
Okay, we've got the Ksante picked as the answer into the Rumble. I feel like this is one of the very common answers into Rumble. You take Ksante, you take Ornn or something. Yeah, he's going to go up a little bit of farm in the early game, but then once you have Kaenic Rooker and you just don't really care about Flame Spitter that much anymore.
I think so. I think for Thanatos specifically, though, this can win.
Okay.
I think if you're playing the Galio or the Ornn as an answer into Rumble, you can absorb it and get pushed in. But I feel like Thanatos, once he gets his MR stack, can actually start threatening kills onto Fudge. I think he's really good at this matchup.
Based on last game, I believe you 200%. I feel like from early on in the lane, even before that initial gank, like Thanatos was the one who had the early push in the lane. He had control. He gets the first blood assistance thanks to the gank from Blaber. He survives the potential revenge gank from Contractz with a 3 HP that we saw earlier. Again, thank you for producers for that sliver of information to go with the sliver of health. And then from then on, Fudge could never do anything. Thanatos, when Thanatos plays his champions, he knows how to pilot them so very well. So I'm with you. I feel like there could be some Ksante moments in this one. But heading into the second half of our draft, let's see what else gets banned away, as Anivia is removed by Shopify. And then the Vi and the Nocturne are the targets for C9. So trying to limit Contractz' playmaking.
And I also just think trying to avoid Contractz having a strong ganking jungler with the Nautilus MF. So from game 1, the 2 most popular Sundered Sky junglers, Jarvan and Pantheon, are gone. Xin banned, that's 3. Nocturne gone. Wukong gone as well, because C9 likely would have taken that away on 4 right here.
Yep.
Which means Contractz has to pull something a little bit different. I personally love Mundo with Ashe Seraphine. I don't know if I love Blaber Mundo, but it would be a pretty strong pick in this slot. Ambessa works as well.
Yeah, Ambessa is also just another one of those like popular skirmishy AD bruiser junglers.
They have such good things for the Seraphine ultimate to go through.
Yeah.
There's definitely a better word than things, but that's the idea with these two diving in. Facilitate. I don't have the word. What, like if you're possessing something, you're shooting the Seraphine all forward? I don't know.
You're shooting conductors.
Nope.
No, it's.
I can't get it. My words are wrong today.
Pylons.
They have locked in the Skarner though, so there's a chance.
Contractz Skarner, so that's going to be your front line alongside the Nautilus. No, I know
Vessel. Vessel's the word.
A vessel, yeah.
They're vessels.
Okay. Yeah,
for the
they're vessels for the ulti to channel itself through. I like that. That's a good one. Yeah. But whenever I see Nautilus drafted, I know that Nautilus is a melee champion who goes in and engages in front lines. And I don't know if this stat is right. I know you love stats. This is a gut stat for me.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that Nautilus is the dyingest champion in League of Legends. Like if you look at all of the games ever played in pro, I'm pretty sure Nautilus has the highest amount of deaths per game. He has to die to do his job, right? Yeah. Like this guy's always dead. So I always want to see another frontliner alongside him, because he's going to be dead most of the time.
It's hard to think of a champion who would die more. Liam's going to look into this for us.
Yeah, I'm really curious if I'm right on this. Cause
even if he just does LCS, because he's gonna crash our servers if he tries to pull every League of Legends game of all time. per game is one stat, and total's another stat, but I feel like he might have both. He would be in contention for having both.
Yeah, it's definitely, if he's not #1 on those stats, you know he's near the top.
Yeah, he's top.
Because he has to die a lot, like I said, to do his job. But the pressure is going to be on for Shopify to find a better game 2 than what we had in game #1. They were still playing an engaged support in that first game. We saw Seos try to start off a lot of different fights in those bottom side rivers. Shopify actually had decent start down there in that bottom side early on, but then as the game kept going, it just didn't work out. Once Thanatos was able to get involved after having that early lead for himself, everything just kind of fell off the rails.
It really did, and Shopify, they need to have a series go 3 games. They really do. Because I just want to see more Shopify Rebellion games, but we have a fight early, potentially.
Ooh, flash from Zinie over the wall to get away, but Zven's ready for the flash follow. They're going to keep chasing this. I don't know about the flash follow. Maybe I'm going to get proved wrong here. Okay, I might just get proved wrong. They do a lot of damage to Zinie. They force out the ghost from him as well, but he does still escape. So that's Zven's flash traded for the heal of Seos, the ghost and the flash of Zinie. And my big thing about this, Jatt, is now I feel like there is just a prime target on Zinie's head as a completely immobile champ like Ryze. No summoners at all. This early lane is going to be scary.
And as we just see, Blaber took Raptors right in front of Contractz, won the smite fight, hit level 2, and now means Contractz has to go farm his Krugs, trying to improve this head-to-head record because there is a long history between these two. Contractz, Blaber, both starting their careers, their LCS careers on Cloud9. Contractz going to Worlds in that 2017 roster. Blaber sharing time with Skarner in 2018. Blaber winning 4 domestic titles and 2 MVPs. But it's always fun watching these two go up against each other because Contractz can definitely get the upper hand. He's generally always on a worse team, but can find windows to create winning situations. So going to be tough in this game with that level 1 of 3 summoners to 1, not to mention Zinie being late to mid, and then losing the Raptors to Blaber.
And you just saw the emote personification of having to play against Ashe as a jungler. We're talking about seeing these two go head-to-head. Can Contractz make this record better? Everything just becomes so much more difficult when you're playing against Ashe. If the guy knows the timings that he should be hawkshotting on to check the different camps, and it's just so obnoxious because they always have extra information.
Blaber's going to know exactly where he is. They have a deep ward that just expired, so they won't know exactly that he's on the spot, but they can generally guess it. Blaber's going to be on the map for a little bit of extra time here since he did Raptors to Krugs to red. Now he's working his way up his blue side, so not necessarily like a double crab angle, so Contractz should still hit level 4 off of his 6th camp, with the 6th camp being the bottom crab.
And since there was that kind of contention, that jungler friction in the top side of the jungle early with what you said, Blaber steals away the chickens, Contractz has to go grab his red buff instead. That means that Thanatos knows, okay, Contractz should not be in this quadrant of the map at all. There's nothing for him here. And so Ksante is able to just level 4 proxy farm against Rumble. I feel like that's a pretty good sign for C9.
It is. With the draft that they have, if they have vision on the Skarner, they can win all of their isolated matchups, which is looking like a very solid early game plan. And Blaber actually skips top crab to cycle Raptors, so he's just going to continue to do this. And Contractz kind of needs a play to work for this. I believe they would have spotted him with that Hawk. I'm not sure if they did, though.
And you could see the way that Contractz drove his Ishtal's impact. He pathed it right through this top lane tree trunky thing near the Krug camp to see if there were Krugs to steal, and there weren't.
I think that missed him, so he just pinged his E, actually, when it comes off cooldown. They're going to go for a play here. He spent so much time on this. Okay. Oh, they're going to find him.
Looks for maybe a recall here. Vulcan will check the brush. Sees Contractz, who tried to juke around the corner of the vision. Still spotted. And now, yeah, the Ishtal's impact just has to be used to get back away, so the time Contractz spends here ultimately ends up wasted.
Oh, Blaber is so happy right now. He's killed 4 Raptor camps before Contract's first reset.
That's like the jungler dream.
Yeah. 4 Raptors for Blaber? He's not even leaving. He's going to do Krugs now. Who needs items?
This is exactly what he wants, because it's also making it impossible for Contractz to get anything back.
It is. Yeah, he's going to have 40 CS here. Also, you were right about your Nautilus.
Oh, I was?
Yeah, look, Nautilus tier 1 all-time, #1 in deaths, 31,000. 7,000 deaths ahead of Alistar, but he's only 11th in deaths per game.
Well, Thanatos is about to try to give Fudge another death, chasing after him here in the 1v1, and he just claps him. First blood for Thanatos. just removes Fudge from the Rift. Contractz shows up to try to protect his top laner. Thanatos doesn't even have to spend a flash walking away from him. That was the most get the hell out of my lane play Thanatos could have made.
It is. Now he's going to have all out. He can probably finish, yeah, he can finish shoving in this wave before the TP completes, so he's not going to lose any minions. And I think he's off to the races, not to mention he found Skarner, so everyone else gets to keep playing their lane in the same way. Thanatos is built different.
Dude, this is such a nightmare for Shopify and for Fudge specifically. Rumble is supposed to be able to be a lane bully. He is supposed to have control. He is supposed to be a champion that enables you to play around topside objectives or jungle invades. But when Thanatos does this, he can't do any of it.
So, I mean, Fudge is sitting at full health. Thanatos probably just has to land everything. Gets the first grass proc. Tofu strike, gets Q1. Hits the knockback. He's literally missed 0 skill shots so far. Not getting hit by the Flame Spitter because Fudge needs to run away.
Got that one.
Has still landed literally everything and then finishes it off. Perfect.
Yeah, he never missed. There's the Ksante clips that you see where Ksante just runs at somebody, misses all his stuff, and still kills them because he's Ksante.
Yeah.
That was not one of them.
Yeah. Footwork goes in the wrong direction. Pathmaker's like kind of sideways. It's like, got you anyway, because my cooldowns are low.
But no, that was actually very good from Thanatos, recognizing that he had the ability, because like you said, Fudge wasn't full HP at the beginning of that. It's not like Fudge is doing a greedy stay or really overexerting himself. Thanatos just recognizes, no, you're dead from here, man.
But now, look at this. He has 105 MR. He's got Negatron and Null Magic against Skarner, Rumble, Ryze topside. What's going to kill him?
I'm going to give you a spoiler right now.
The Fountain?
Probably nobody. Because, I mean, yeah, Skarner's damage is mostly physical with the rocks and the Ishtal's impact.
Yeah.
But it's just like, he doesn't do a lot of damage.
Exactly. It's
right?
physical, but it's not there.
Yeah, it's just like, I guess the number that shows up will be orange instead of blue, but it's a small number. Zinie gets a really good trade on APA there, at least. And I guess one little bit of light shining in the darkness for Shopify is it was really scary at level 1 when your Ryze has no flash, no ghost, but they never ended up getting punished for it. He's got his summoner spells back now.
Yeah, he did. I was so obsessed with Thanatos that I forgot to see if Blaber has let Skarner get Raptors yet. I don't think he has. I need to go
plus
back and
20 farm.
Yeah, he's definitely cycling that Raptor camp. And a headshot!
Oh, I'm sorry, Zinie. I immediately talk about how they don't punish the Ryze, and then it's the Enchanted Crystal Arrow into public execution, into Cassiopeia puke, into a green thumbs up from APA just to add a little bit more insult to injury. C9 get killed too.
This is a try not to tilt special. My top laner's dead. My jungler keeps losing his Raptors. Let's just make a play. We know Ambessa just ulted and ran topside. We can take Drake. This is a good play by Shopify.
Okay. And you can see C9 not really in any kind of a position to challenge for it. As hey, we've got a Raptor camp replay here in the picture-in-picture. I believe this is
he did get his Raptors.
The first that's the first Raptor camp Contractz was acquiring.
He got a Raptors, they can win. At least the game's not completely over. A lot of times Blaber would say, I would imagine when Blaber got the first 4 Raptor camps, he probably said the game is over if I play well. That was probably his mindset.
I mean, he's on a champion that can really carry from the jungle with the Ambessa as well. So we'll see how well he can translate and make good on those early advantages as we move forward in the game. Only 9 minutes on the clock. That first dragon secured by Shopify, like you said, but C9 is going to take the opportunity to get themselves all 3 grubs. It's not like we have the turbo split pusher champions in this game like we did in game number 1, so grubs are going to be kind of back to their usual, I guess it's there so we'll take it status.
Yeah.
But you got something.
I'd say based on the flow of the games so far today, C9 has been in no rush, so they're not panicking over contesting an early Drake. They're willing to give a few things up, which I think is just helping them seem a lot more stable because they are still able to win these lanes individually. We know they make good late game decisions. Let's see if this Ryze can do something, though.
Yeah, the Realm Warp brings Zinie in. Thanatos not going to find a target here with his Pathmaker. Goes all out, wants to try to get the kill onto Fudge, but no, there's enough damage from Shopify, and that's the kind of plays they need.
Really well done there by Zinie, finding the window to roam. Contractz gets to catch the mid wave as well. Thanatos did miss a spell once there. He missed an Atofo strike during his all-out.
The first Pathmaker, too.
Much. And the first Pathmaker. Maybe he does trade one back if he lands him.
PA, just trying to make sure that this wave stays crashed, try to get as much poke damage onto Zinie as you might be able to. But APA is running rather low on mana here. You can see both of their tiers stacked up to about the same amount thus far, so nobody getting a major advantage in that department. But it is plus 20 farm for APA, and I feel like a lot of that, yes, of course, some of it comes from you got the kill, but a lot of it is also probably Zinie just had to play a lot more safely and a lot more respectfully early on, considering you had the double loss summoners.
And they've had no jungle pressure. The power spike item comes through after the death for Thanatos with the Canik Rookhorn, so he will continue to be immovable, as they've actually swapped down a little bit before role quest completion, which is surprising because I think that Thanatos would want to stay in the magic damage lane. There's a chance that they were expecting Fudge to swap early because the lane was going so poorly and just guessed wrong. That was probably my guess.
I feel like things probably aren't going to get a lot more comfortable for the Rumble now dealing with Ashe and Seraphine.
This is true.
In a 1v2. So Fudge's life is going to remain difficult here today as Thanatos' Canik Rookhorn will at least not give him a whole lot of value against Bvoy, but now Blaber joins up here in the top side. The Vessel for the Encore. He does his job exactly as he needs to. Fudge just gets bursted down before he can do anything about it, before Zinie can rotate up and do anything about it, and that's another kill for C9.
Quality vesseling. And the bigger thing here is that Shopify actually invested more people on the map to that spot. The timing was just off, because 3 were there when only Fudge was under the turret. Contractz was kind of close. Zinie was on his way. Zinie lost his summoner spells in that gank defense. So Cloud9 actually kind of gets more than they bargained for with that kill. APA gets to free push mid lane and roam into river.
That's twice now in an 11-minute game that C9 have made a move that has cost Zinie both his summoner spells, and then it's just like, what am I supposed to do? I'm Ryze, right?
Yeah.
Like, you need to be able to have some kind of mobility, some kind of insurance to play aggressively and get things done. Nice moves from APA, sidesteps the dredge line, immediately puts the miasma down, takes Seos down to 200 HP. Zinie and Bvoy trying to make sure the Nautilus can escape from this one. He won't contribute to the death counter just yet.
And the pressure can just stay up for C9 now. Every time there's a play like this, all the map pressure and tempo disappears from Shopify. So Ashe Seraphine can completely move into river, get plates, and Blaber can completely take control of all the control wards Shopify was hoping to put down. They might be able to dive Bvoy. That's what Blaber's hoping to accomplish here.
No public execution, though.
Yeah.
That ultimate cooldown for Blaber still has a while yet to go. He does have his Spear of Shojin fully completed, though, so this makes that champion much scarier. And that ultimate cooldown is going to be ready to go at a really nice timing because it's 30 seconds until the second Drake spawns. So Blaber can go ahead and take his recall. He purchases his upgrade from the free boots into the Mercury treads, and now he can path back out towards this bottom side. He'll have public execution when he needs it. Yeah. The only thing I can think of that could be better is if he was 1, maybe 2 camps further ahead, so he would hit level 11 in time for the dragon fight. But that's a lot to ask, considering the counter jungle he's already done. Zven tries to get away. Oh, that's a blunder. But the bullet time over the top still might make it work. Blaber into the back line, providing a distraction as APA's made his way into the play. And Seos, now that Nautilus ain't getting away. Blaber wants to look for a little bit more as Contractz tries to get the distance, but it's just not there. A botched engage from Shopify Rebellion has dire consequences. Thanatos gets kill number 3 in the fight. It's a 4,000 gold lead at 13 minutes for C9.
Just one of those games where everything goes wrong for Shopify. From level 1, guessing wrong, burning the Ryze summoners, to here, face planting your Nautilus hook straight into the wall. The hook is just too damn wide.
Yup.
Zven emotes on him, and then the fight becomes a disaster. The Ksante TP isn't really necessary, just cleans up the kill at the end, because they're going to win this 4v4 with how sloppy the Shopify engage ended up being. But they finish off Contractz, and then if Thanatos comes all this way, he can get the kill.
Sometimes you don't need words. Sometimes it's just the he that says it all. But my guess is Thanatos probably teleported because he's thinking the only way that this goes bad is if Fudge teleports in and equalizes my team as they chase.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of an insurance teleport.
Yeah.
Fudge obviously doesn't end up teleporting down there, so I guess now the assignment that I would have for Shopify and for Fudge is you're 4,000 gold behind. It's 15 minutes into the game. This is a train wreck. The only way to get back on the tracks is you've got to find some sort of use, some sort of play to make with this Rumble teleport while they don't have one to answer.
Yeah, magic resist update. If it's too small, it says 173. That's a lot of magic resist on the Ksante at the moment.
Yeah, that could be a problem. Enchanted Crystal Arrow could have also been a problem. But
hey, could be worse for Shopify.
Right through the upright.
That arrow could have landed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Things are looking up.
We're counting silver linings. Yep. All right. So where's our next silver lining? Let's, well, we've got Rumble in the bottom lane versus the Ksante. This could be the next silver lining. You make a play for the Rift Herald, you teleport Rumble in, you win a 5v4, you take the Herald, you take a turret afterwards with the Herald, the game's even again.
TP advantage.
Okay.
Real, actual silver lining, Protoplasm Harness is a massive spike for Skarner jungle. I feel like any of these junglers who don't need to build a damaging item to clear the jungle hit this really big spike when they get Protoplasm.
All right, Blaber starting up the Herald. Hawk shot to notice Contractz there in the tri-brush. Shopify is hanging around, but nobody's making a move towards this. So, all right, I'm gonna get pissed off about this because you have TP advantage and you're hanging people around the Herald, but where's the play?
You do. Well, the play was to make Thanatos run up. I'm actually okay with them at least letting Fudge get a plate here because Fudge has a gold advantage off of that play. He got a plate bottom, he got a full wave because Thanatos walked up just in case it was going to be a 5v4. I think like that was the play, was just wasting C9's time with 5 people while Fudge gets gold. It's something.
Okay.
Something.
I guess my problem with it is the game is so far in C9's favor.
Yeah.
I feel like even if it's something, you've got to find something more than something. You got to find something square, right? 2 somethings at least.
Yeah, you need to factor your advantage in.
Yes.
With
you know
Fudge's
what? You know
teleport.
what factor it has to be exactly.
I really should have prepped math puns if we were going to go down this route because I've got nothing.
I didn't know we were going to do this either, for what it's worth. That we need to get Freak on the phone. I'm sure he's with how much he loves puns and math.
True.
That would be the true expert here. But hey, this is the 7th deathless week of Vulcan's career thus far, and remember the 6th one was last week.
Yeah. If he's able to stay deathless once again, it'll be 8 deathless
7th
weeks.
was last week. This will be 8. Sorry, this one's not yet done. As now Seos, he just gets burned down. That Nautilus isn't going anywhere. Those stats are looking better and better.
Very deathless. What a vessel that was. Bvoy's MF ultimate, totally useless as the Seraphine ult flies through and interrupts it.
Now Zven just feels empowered to step up, put the damage into the turret. The Void Grubs actually end up helping a lot there. I think the Void Grubs are the difference between that dying or not. I think it hangs on by a thread to just minion damage. But Zinie now trying to get far enough away from Blaber, who's just creating space for the Rift Herald and APA to take down the tier 1 turret up here in the top lane. Contractz wanting to step forward, potentially find an angle for a big impale. But all he's going to find is the eternal CC from Seraphine and Ashe. Thanatos arrives just to make sure. And because everybody's paying attention to the mid lane, the top lane takes that much more damage. APA just waits for Zinie to show up, pops out of the brush, barrages him with 5 or 6 Twin Fangs.
Oh, they might get a kill here, though.
Okay.
TP coming in from Rumble.
Shopify sending it. It's a 4-man play after APA.
Send everyone.
Warp only brings Zinie. APA, there's no way he lives this. It's just who do you give the kill to? Petrifying Gaze there. Shutdown credit over to Zinie.
Good job.
They got it.
Yep. Nice play. Everyone on C9 was back in base. APA was very greedy, trying to ego on the Ryze a little bit when everyone else was back in base. So a good punish that costs Shopify basically nothing as they're all able to reset without losing any tempo.
Okay, works out. Shopify, they get their pick. At least they get some more money onto their Ryze. Zinie 2 stacks away from the full 10 there on the Rod of Ages, which will give him another nice immediate power spike, but still also building towards that Archangels, which will immediately evolve into a Seraph's Embrace as soon as the tier is fully stacked. The team deciding they are going to go for the Dragon now. It's a 1-to-1 Dragon race so far. C9's not going to let him take this without a fight.
Yeah,
APA slithering forward, and it's Blaber to the back line of the public execution here at the very start. Thanatos ready to jump in right behind him. It's a C9 dog pile. Blaber goes on a killing spree, and Shopify Rebellion are dead before they even know it. Zinie's the only one left, and Blaber is about to remedy that real quick. Vulcan following here, wants to provide a little bit of help over the wall. Blaber still needs a little more damage, and he finds it. It's an ace for nothing. C9 wipe him off the rift.
That was actually just beautiful. Everything went perfectly for C9 in that fight. I'm thinking, okay, Shopify is on the Drake. They're hoping that maybe C9 overcommit. But then when C9 does commit, it's instantly over because they're grouped up. Ambessa just presses R in the general vicinity, and then Seraphine ult hits 4. I mean, the space here is the width of the Seraphine ultimate. So if you're in this space, you are getting hit by the Seraphine ultimate. Flash R from Vulcan kills him, and we have to come out of replay because Zven has landed a headshot.
Yep, it's another enchanted crystal. Whatever he enchanted these with, that is some magical stuff, man. Those things are not missing. It's just about barren a clock. 20 minutes and 30 seconds on this one. C9's going to start it up, and there's nobody from Shopify Rebellion in the same zip code.
High chance that Vulcan stays deathless for 2 weeks in a row, which would be very impressive.
That's wild.
Yeah, especially with game 1. This game, not so much. Like, they're stomping them. I understand you're playing an enchanter. They're not necessarily playing super aggressively in lane, but that's when the game is in such a good state. Top lane was smashing. Jungle was going 20, 30 CS up, so they know as soon as we get into team fights, this front line is going to be unstoppable, and we can just throw Seraphine through the front line. Man. C9's been so good these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been really impressive stuff. Shopify finally secure their first turret of the game with this bottom lane tier 1 take. Seos flashes in for the dredge line on APA, and that is exactly what happens when Nautilus goes in, when his team is 10,000 gold behind. Shopify, they're just trying stuff at this point because what else are you going to do? It's a 10,000 gold lead 21 minutes into the game. C9 already got the Baron. They have that Red Bull power play for the next 2 minutes. They kill 3 for free right there, and now Zinie and Contractz have to try to defend this alone. Silver linings. The levels are low enough on Shopify. Seos is only level 9, so he's about to respawn already, so it's at least not a 5v2 that much longer.
Can we keep going? They can't wave clear, guys. We can still end. Like,
they're gonna try and end.
Yeah,
they're gonna try and end. Even if they're alive, they can't wave clear. Blaber wants to end it.
They've got a Nautilus and a Ryze and a Skarner. That's not the most effective way to deal with a big Baroned up push. APA is going to be your target here for the start. Flashes up the way of the Impale. Thanatos putting the pressure onto Bvoy, so the bullet time does not get much value. C9 have their next wave already here.
Yeah, that's bullet time. They can't use it again. The next wave is here. At the very least, they can get low on this turret.
Seos tries to step forward, but a double knockback on a Tofo strikes coming out from Thanatos. Sets up Blaber and the rest of C9 to dive straight in. Blaber is shut down, though. Those Nexus turrets providing as much supporting fire as they can. With Blaber out for the next 45 seconds. Can Shopify hold this? Zinie tries to get away, but Thanatos is all out, all over him, as C9 continue their 4v3 push.
50 seconds still on this bear, and they're going to stick around.
Okay, slam into the wall there from APA. The Ishtal's impact locks him up, but Thanatos is down to about 20% HP. Zven and Vulcan still trying to cover here for the front line. Fudge rooted up. Zven DPSing. Focus fire onto the Rumble. Seos here in the front. Yet again, Pathmaker from Thanatos towards Bvoy. Again, just creating space. Seos down again. The Nautilus 0, 6, and 1 in this one. He just has to throw himself into the meat grinder as Fudge goes in for the TP, just for the extra shield, just for the flank, wants to try to kill Zven. He finds the shutdown. It's Vulcan and Thanatos looking to end the game. The Nexus at death's door. GG 21-5, C9 sweep the series.
I love the adrenaline that C9 gave us at the end of that incredibly stompy game. Could they actually end, or were they soft throwing? Nope. They managed to close it. Vulcan stays deathless, another 2-0-18. Him and Thanatos, the two alive at the end, which is so fitting as how I feel like they're their two carries today.
Those two have played so well. I really liked what we got from Blaber in this series alongside them. I feel like in this game, he knew that he was stronger in the 1v1 against the Skarner. He controlled the jungle early. He was the one flying in, like you said, to be that vessel for those big Vulcan Seraphine ultis, to always hit multiple targets, to always guarantee wins in the team fight. And it just felt like Shopify, they never had an answer.
They had one of those games where everything went wrong.
Yep.
Every Ashe arrow landed,